Hello there, my name is Peter Thompson and this is one of my top tips. At address, your head should point behind the ball, to the right of the ball. The reason being, your head in the backswing won't stay still, it has to turn as your shoulders and your hips and your neck turns this way. If I point my head to the left at address and then leave it pointing that way, my shoulder turn will be almost 20 degrees, 25 degrees. If, however, I turn my head to the right, a long way to the right, looking towards the net, I can now turn my shoulders round a long way, probably too far. So what we do is address the ball with your head pointing in between the golf ball and your right heel, which will be about there. This will allow you to turn your shoulders with no strain on your neck at all. Maybe you have a bad neck. Many people who play golf suffer from a bad neck. It's always because their head stays too still looking at the ball. They then try and turn their shoulders around looking at the ball. Nearly impossible to look at the ball and keep your head still. So turn your head to the right and then your shoulders can turn quite easily in the backswing. I'll show you on the screen now some of my pupils and we'll see what the heads do at address and in the backswing. This is Liz Young, and her handicap went down to an amazing +5, 5 under scratch. She's now a successful lady golfer on the European Tour, and last year being 2014, she finished 20th on the tour. At address, her head is pointing in between the ball and the right heel, so that when she swings back, her shoulders can turn. Watch the nice free shoulder turn. Hips turning, head turning, neck turning, shoulders turning quite freely. And then because she's let the turn work in the backswing, in the forward swing, she can turn all the way through, and the head now is pointing, looking at the target, and the head's turned round from the backswing to the finish by more than 90 degrees, probably 100 degrees. Another of my pupils, handicap down from 24 down to 3, I think he's playing off now. Your head can be in the way of your golf swing, so you need to, at address, point your head to the right of the ball. James's head is now pointing outside his right leg, as did Jack Nicklaus, head pointing outside the right leg to allow the body to turn quite freely with no restrictions from the head or indeed your neck. There's the turn, followed by a superb turn through the ball, fantastic impact, and at the end of the swing, head pointing at the target. The head has turned probably 110, 120 degrees from the backswing to the finish. So your head might not seem very important, but it is very important. It allows your body to turn. At address, point your head behind the ball, let your head turn round as far as it needs to turn your shoulders as far as you need to. Something between 75 and 90 degrees is fine, and then by having turned your head this way, you can then turn it that way, nice and free. Let's look at a couple of pros now and see if they're going to do it. Justin Rose. So here's Justin. Arrow on his head, or on his cap. And this is quite a slow film, so we're going to watch it go through to the end of the swing, and then we can show you what the head is doing at address and at the finish. So head to the right. Very, very good goal swing. And now his head is pointing towards the target. So try and be clear in your mind. Your head can restrict your golf swing terribly. It won't stay still, but it won't move on purpose. It'll just move as the body turns. So the head is pointing just behind the ball at address, which then means in the swing, turning, turning, turning. Everything's turning, you see. And there we are, the end of the swing. Head's turned from the backswing to the finish by more than 90 degrees. And finally, Ben Hogan. Head clearly pointing to the right of the ball. End of the swing, head clearly pointing towards where the ball has gone. So let's watch again. At address, head clearly pointing to the right of the ball to allow a nice free shoulder turn. See how the head is now pointing even further to the right, in fact to the right of this young man's head. Then turning through the ball, everything turning, hips, chest, neck, head, everything turning. So there's a top tip. I guarantee it will work. It works for everyone. Turn your head to the right when you address the ball, even outside your right foot if you want to, and then your body turn will be unrestricted going back and going forward. A great top tip. It'll work. Thank you for listening. Thank you very much.